All right, I'm on another episode of the Truth, Love, Freedom podcast. Today I'm with a special guest. I'm with Jade. We're doing a podcast through Zoom now. How are you doing today, Jade?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
It's a privilege to have you. I met Jade on Instagram and she has a very vivid and interesting story to tell the viewers. Could you tell me, myself, and the viewers about the situation you've been in your life? We can start from when you were younger and get to when you turned 20 and what happened.
Yeah, yeah, my life changed around when I was 20 years old. I had my own business. Yeah, I started having my own business. My dad was a businessman, so I was always into that. I put my first business company when I was around 19 years old, and yeah, it was doing everything was doing great. I really had a great life until I had a medical tourism business, so I need lawyers. You always need lawyers to do contracts and all that. So someone just give me a contact one of the lawyers, and I contact them, and that's when my life changed because I got trafficked for that. They were traffickers.
Human traffickers, correct?
Yeah.
So what happened after you met with these lawyers? What kind of situation did they put you in?
I mean, the first 2 years everything was doing okay, but they did give me some signs that I did not. I, you know, I was very young and I was very naive. I used to believe everything, and they were much older than me. So they have this kind of like a father mother authority like to me. They were always giving me advice and telling me what to do. So definitely they did a lot of manipulation on me. Like everything started very slowly at first. They were like saying things like, "Oh, you know what? I don't think you should tell anybody about us because this is kind of like a professional secret." And I thought that was like a normal thing. I was kind of not experiencing life in anything, so I was like, okay. And they gave me another rule. They told me if you can make if I mean we can work together and you're gonna have your business and you're gonna have a lot of money if you keep doing what you're doing and everything is gonna be great. But you have to, if you want us to help you, you just have to make two rules. I mean, you have to make like kind of like a be explaining to them like they gave me two rules that I need to follow, and that was it. That it was not tell anybody about them and do not have a boyfriend. So they told me if you continue how you're doing right now, everything is gonna be all right. And yeah, they were very. I mean, they were cool. They were not aggressive. They were very. They were. I mean, I never. They never did anything to me, and during those years that I was like, these people might be dangerous or anything. No, they were always very kind to me, very sweet, professional. So the only thing that they did was just, like I say, manipulation, like saying, let's say if I wanted to go out and maybe it was night, then they will say things like, you shouldn't go out alone because it's kind of dangerous. Maybe you should go out with this person and with one of them, like an assistant or something. And I thought, well, yeah, why not? I mean, never thought that was something weird. And so that's what happened the first 2 years. But I broke one rule. That's what everything changed.
You got a boyfriend?
I got a boyfriend. Sorry, my voice. Um, I got not got no boyfriend. I was not allowed to do any of that, right? And I knew it. But I never thought they were gonna be aggressive if I broke one rule. I thought maybe they were gonna stop working on me, like just as they told me. So I remember that I had a friend. He was from UK, and so we were talking. He say, I told him, I'm so tired. I don't even know what is dating, or I didn't know. Like I was 21 years old and I didn't know anything, right? So I was like, he was like, why you shouldn't allow a nap? And I was like, yeah, right. Like just to talk. I never thought that something was gonna happen, right? So I started talking with this man, and he was really like interested in me, and I knew I couldn't, I was like saying no, no, but he was like, please, please. It was I don't remember the time, but it was something like in April. It was in April, and that happened April in 2015. And so I agree, and I had a date. And yeah, we had a day. It was beautiful, very beautiful day. I mean, for me, it was like my first day ever, so I was kind of happy. But I knew it was it. I mean, I couldn't date with this guy anymore. But I thought he was, he was never gonna talk to me ever again. But he did, and yeah, that's what happened. Like he tried to have more dates, and I was like, okay, I don't want to. I mean, I had these mixed feelings. Like I shouldn't supposed to do this, but I want to do this. So I tried to hide the fact that I was dating with this person until they find out.
What did they do once they found out?
Well, they find out a month later, and everything was great for a month until they find out. And then the first thing that they do is just I had a lawyer. I had a lot of lawyers there, like over 5 lawyers, but um, accountants too. So I had this lawyer and accountant, and this other lawyer. She wasn't a woman and a man. So the woman, they have like this kind of like relationship, bad cop and good cop. So I was more into talking with the girl because she was like more like a mother figure. And she was like, "I'm gonna help you with this, no problem. Don't listen to the other lawyer. It's all right. I'm gonna take care of that." So I was like, "Okay." And but everything changed after that. The first thing that they do was to I remember that I was walking, on the street, and suddenly two men, a couple, started following me. I thought it was just my mind, but I saw that they were really following me. So they then when I was in a very lonely place, they put a gun on me, um, and they just threatened me, but did not say a thing. They were just saying like, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" And I was like, "What am I gonna do about what?" Right? And there was a really scary moment for me. And then they left, and the first thing that I did was just calling the guy I was dating. I was really scared. That never happened to me before. But I always thought like maybe my lawyers were right. I shouldn't go out alone. So I called my lawyers and I told them, and they say, "Oh wow, yeah, this is it's better that you always go out with someone." They were trying to protect me. And I never thought that they were. I mean, that what couple was hired for them. That's the first thing that happened. Then they started like they make everything they could, like, and I mean everything they could to avoid to actually to how can I explain it? They did everything possible they could to um to prevent
Oh,
us from
you?
seeing. Yeah, no, because they did not want it to date with this guy. So they were trying to they were locking me up. Sometimes they were like, "Oh, you need to come here and sign this paper." So I was going there, and then suddenly locked me up, and I was like, "Why you do that?" And they were saying like, "It's for your own good." And they were like, "It's not good that you die with this man. He only want you for your money." And because I had some money there back in the day, so I was doing good with my business. So and I was like, "This is not true." And they were like, no, it's for your own good. And then that's when they first started to lock me, for hours. That's how it started first. Like they locked me for hours. Every time that I wanted to date with this man, they did something, or they show up in just in the moment that I was just leaving, or maybe I invited this man to my apartment, and then suddenly they were there. So it was like I couldn't see this man because they were there, trying to you know uh trying to this to put us apart. And that I can remember in um May 2015, they were kind of, I mean, they were the first time they were like kind of aggressive with me. I remember I tried to have a secret meeting with this man that I was dating, and I told him, I told my brother, I have a brother, and I told him, can you help me out and take me there? Because I was trying to go, hiding. I was hiding from my lawyers. And he said, yeah, why not? So he took me there, and I told the man was saying, to go to the hotel, right? I mean, I just wanted to have a moment with him, not do anything. We were just trying to have, just to see him because I could never see him. They were always trying to do something. So when I was there in the parking lot with the car, and I was just gonna go out to the hotel, um, my the my date, the guy came out there too, and I suddenly had a call from one of my lawyers, and he was so angry at me. And then while he was making the call, I saw him coming with my lawyer, with my other lawyer, and they were so angry. And he said to me, "If you don't break up with this," and then he insulted this man, we're gonna have problems. You're not gonna like it. What's gonna happen? So you have 5 minutes to break up with him now. That's the first thing that happened. So, well, that's what happened in May. And yeah, I was kind of scared because I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like it was the whole scene was surreal. I had my date in front of me in a car. I had my brother on the other side. I was in the middle, and my traffic or well, my lawyers were there too. And they were saying you have 5 minutes, just 5 minutes to break up with him, or this is it. Everything is gonna change for you. So I told him, yeah, but I didn't. I lied, and I did not break up with the guy. That's what happened. So they find out that I lied.
Did you keep seeing this guy? Did the lawyers find out you kept seeing him or you didn't break up with him?
No, well, I thought that after because after that moment, I told him we cannot do anything about what I told you. We're not gonna see each other today, and he was like, why? And I was like, I cannot explain you why, but we can see each other today, maybe another day. So I thought that after that day he would break up with me, but he didn't, and I didn't. So I thought, I mean, I was trying to see this man one way or another, but I wanted to date him, so I was just like, they're not gonna stop me. And they told me I had a meeting 2 days later after that day, and my one of my lawyer, the woman that I would say that it was like a mother role to me,
Yep.
told me, okay, let me help you with this. I have an idea to you. And she say, why you don't try to make a surprise for this man so he can so he maybe he don't dump you, what I'm saying? Like she was like on my side, and she was saying, I'm gonna try and talk with the other lawyers so he chill and let you leave. And I was like, are you sure you can? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it, like, just do a surprise for your man and I'll take care of everything. The problem here is that they have control over my money, completely control. Like, and that's one of the things that they did during those 2 years before everything happened. They told me that it was better for me that they control my money because for paying taxes and to avoid getting scammed or whatever. They told me that it was better that if they control the money and that they would give me money per month. And it was I was very, I mean, very naive, very stupid to believe all that. But they look so professional, everything, that I thought it was the best thing to do because I really have no knowledge about taxes or anything like that. So, I mean, they were paying every month their money for their work they're doing, and they were giving me around. At first, they were giving me around $10,000 per month, but every after let's say after I made this guy, the money went up, went down, and they were giving me maybe $2,000 and then $1,000 until the point that I was not having any money, like no money at all. So I told her, I need money. I need to pay things. Why I don't have my money? Why I don't have access to my money? And she was like, let me help you with this. Don't worry. You can trust me. And I couldn't say no. That's the problem I had. I had problems saying no. So I was like, okay, it's fine. So that's what happened during the 8 months, something like that. We talked, with this guy, the guy I was dating. They did everything they could to ruin everything. So they started being more aggressive every month because they knew I was not gonna leave him, and he was not going to do that either. So they started locking me up more times, and I couldn't understand why. I had no knowledge about human trafficking. I never saw any sign because I didn't know what human trafficking was. So I thought they were just like, I couldn't explain why they were doing that to me. I couldn't explain. I didn't have any explanation for their behavior. I just thought they were I don't know. I wish I could say that I know in back in the day what happened, but I don't know. Like I didn't know. I was very very confused. I could understand why they were so aggressive and so why they were bothering so much about the idea of me having a partner or boyfriend. So everything and things like that until September when uh September, October, I found out I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant in October, and but I got pregnant around September. And the problem is that the surprise that they told me that I should do to these men, everything was a lie. They told me to make like a dinner, special dinner and everything, and it was all set up to make me look bad. So after that, he finally broke up with me, and I was completely alone, you know. And they tried not only with this man, but with my whole family too. They did other things to push me, like to isolate it. Like they did a lot of things, like talking with my brothers and saying things like, I don't think your sister is doing okay. Maybe she has some issues, saying, you know, they were trying to make me look like if I was crazy. So in case I say something, like you shouldn't believe everything she said, things like that. So back in the day, in October, I was very lonely. I got nobody. The last person that I was talking, it was this man, and he left. So I found out I was pregnant after we broke up. Well, I found out before, but I told him after we broke up that I was pregnant, and my lawyer find out about it too, and they were extremely angry, like so angry. That's when they told me, the day that the day that this man broke up with me is the day that they told me, you're so stupid, how could you believe us, like this is not gonna happen, we're gonna take all your money and you're gonna do whatever we want to do. So at first I thought I refused to do any of that. I thought they were just maybe criminals that they stole my money. And I say, I'm not doing anything. You told me like this is it, it's over. So I went to my mom's house, and I stayed there for around a month, until they went there, my mom's house, and they told me you have to go out and come talk to us here in the car. They were outside, and I say no, and they say, well, if you don't want to come, then we come in. So I was like, maybe I should go out there, and that's when when they were they were trying to be more clear, more specific. They told me, look, I don't know if you realize, but you're gonna be trafficked now, and I have no idea about what that means. So I was like, what is that, right? Because I was very ignorant about it. And they say, you're gonna work for us, you're gonna do whatever we say, and until you die, that's it. You can escape. You cannot ask for help. Nobody. You cannot talk about it with nobody, because if you ever tell something, anything about everything that we did to you, the other person that knows this is gonna die. So you have to shut up. Um, and they told me, you're actually lucky because we're not gonna prostitute you. Because if we're gonna prostitute, I mean, if we prostitute you, then people will realize we're gonna be weird because a lot of people know you, especially, like doctors knew me. People. I had never done anything like that. I was very like a hunger, right? So if one day they'll see me on the street, they will say, "What's going on?" So they told me, "You're not gonna do that, but you're gonna come, you're gonna stream, and you're gonna make more money on that doing that." So they told me I should thank them and I should be happy and grateful that I was not gonna be a prostitute, but I have to do the other things. I refused it, of course. Um, that I had no more option. They told me you have to get rid of the pregnancy, and I say no, and they were like, "Well, if you don't do that, then we kill the father of your babies." I was pregnant with twins, so I told them that, and it was that moment that I knew that I was. I cannot explain how I felt in that way. Like I have to choose between my baby's life or you know this man's life. Like I still, of course, I have feelings for him, so I wanted to protect him, even though he thought he had a horrible idea about me because they did a lot of things to put me down. With whole he had a whole concept about me that it wasn't what exactly what the traffickers wanted. So yeah, it was very hard for me. That time was, was the beginning of hell. I cannot explain another way. Absolutely hell. Um, and from there, they were extremely aggressive, like extremely aggressive. They put me a gun, my head, and my car, and they told me, you have to make sure that this man, the father my babies, believe that you really had an abortion so he can finally leave you alone because he just go. Like they wanted to get rid of him. But he did not, they don't want to kill him because they were probably start investigation, everything. And I told them, like, if you do something to him, anything, I'm not gonna care about anything. I mean, I'm gonna talk. I don't care if you kill me. Like, do not touch my family. Do not touch anybody. I will do anything, whatever you want me to do, but do not touch anybody. So it was like a shock to me because I trust them. They were my friends. I mean, and I really say that because my lawyers and we're having a lot of dinners. We talk about many things before everything happened. So I trust them a lot. We spend time laughing, making jokes. So when they were acting in that way, I was in shock. I couldn't believe like they are acting this way. I thought they were even joking at first. I thought it was couldn't be true, but that's what happened.
Now, before we keep going, what country did this all happen in? So they didn't want to prostitute you. They wanted you to stream and sell sexual content for them.
Yeah, I mean, they told me, we don't care whatever you do in Camo, whatever if you make money, then that's it. They told me you have to make right now $1,000 per week, otherwise someone's gonna die. And then after you get out of that pregnancy or whatever, after that everything happens, you have to make even more money, around 50,000 to $20,000 per month. And they say if you can make that money per month, then we ain't gonna prostitute you then, because you have to make that money.
Now they made you have an abortion too.
No, just give me a second.
Take your time. I know this is a hard topic to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. Just hold on a moment.
Yeah, I understand. So there's certain things we can't talk about on this podcast. So moving forward, did they make you have to live with them?
Well, just to mention something. No, I did not have an abortion after all. Just to be clear of that. And what you told me about it? What was the question?
When you had to do this streaming, were you living with them at that point?
I had my own apartment first before, so that's when I first went there. Like, they locked me in my own apartment, and I have to stream there. And then they told me, look, this apartment is too expensive. It's an expensive apartment, and then there's no point. You can stay with your mom, but you cannot go out. And if your mom asks you to go out, you say you can. So you go there. We are gonna keep watching you. Someone's gonna be outside. So I come on my mom's house. Then after that, I was there for my mom. Then they put me in another house, and they forced me to stream there. Where I was always making. I mean, I was making good money there. Of course, everything was for them. So I was. It was hard for me because I was pregnant, and they were extremely violent and brutal to me. I was underweight. I had to come around 15 to 14, 17 hours a day. And I mean, they did not give me any type of food. No had no money to buy food either. So they gave me dog food. That's what I eat while I was pregnant.
Made you eat dog food?
Dog food, yeah, to make fun of me and to humiliate me. So they were like, I was really hungry and I was very underweight. I was not allowed to go see, to go any hospital. They did, I mean, they did a lot of things while pregnant, like, things to fool everybody. And then one of the things that they told me, is that I cannot talk about pregnancy and babies and all that, but I, I remember that they told me you have to make sure that, like I said before, this guy believes that uh, you're not pregnant anymore, that you got an abortion. But they eventually told me that it was better if I should keep the babies. So that's what happened. Talking a bit about that. And so I was pregnant, and they gave me dog food because they were just evil. They were making. Sometimes when I was there in that house, they they came out, with food and they eat in front of me, and I was just dog food. Like they were just giving me dog food, and that's I sometimes they give me the food, sometimes they didn't give me anything. So when I was really really hungry, that's when they gave me dog food, and of course I eat it because I had to survive.
Did you use the Bible during these times to comfort you?
I was not allowed to read anything, to read the Bible. But after a while, I told them, like, please just let me read something. Like, I need a Bible or something. And they were like, it's okay. What a Bible gonna do? So, yeah, I started reading Bible back in the day. That there is nothing you can do. You can escape because many people don't know about this, but many people ask, why you just don't leave? Why you just don't run? And what people don't know is that they are so aggressive and they make so much abuse. They abuse so much. Like every day, you don't have a moment to recover because they do another thing the other day. And so you can think like a normal person will. Like you can think like you are paralyzed, like you are so with so much fear that you don't even try to escape because you are way too scared to do anything. So um I was there. I couldn't call police because they were kill my family or kill, and whatever people they wanted. Um they will kill me too. I didn't trust nobody. So the only thing you have is just, you know, pray and read the Bible. It's the only thing you got. You can do anything else. And I was not a religious person, but I couldn't do anything like more than that.
How did you get out of that mess? How did it end for you?
Well, that was I was 8 years there, so a lot of things happening in 8 years. My main traffickers stay there. Then they sold me. I don't know how to say this, but they put me within my handler. That was another man back in the day, and they were doing other things. So when I went one day, when I was with my handler, someone called me. Of course, someone. I was allowed to have a phone because with the phone I used to work with my phone, right? Because I have to come and all that. So one of I was allowed to talk with my family sometimes, not all the time, uh, and with people who they have permission to talk, right? Friends of them or people who my traffickers. Nobody. I could not have friends or anything like that. But one of those people called me and told me, "Have you seen the news?" And I was like, "No, what happened?" And I was like, "Just look at the news," and I can't because I can't watch TV. What happened? And they just Google. So I was just trying to Google, local news, and I saw news that they were dead. Someone shot them. So I was, let's say, a lot of traffickers were trying to control me, but four of them and the boss, the boss of all everybody, was dead. So the other traffickers disappeared because when the boss died, others died. It's like kind of like a rule
Mafia.
they have. Yeah, the like if the boss die, everybody is next. So many went missing and probably are dead now, and other went in jail. But my handler was next to me when that happened. He told me, "Don't you don't think you're gonna be free now, right?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, right?" So that's when I pray. I pray. I did actually pray twice. I did a pray before they die, and I don't know if it was a coincidence or no. But 24 hours after I pray, everybody was dead. So I made again. I pray again, second time, and actually my handler too, I spent more time with my handler there. It was like I always say that I got my freedom after they die because it's true. I mean, if there was no way that I could have my freedom with them being alive. It's impossible. So I always say that because that's the beginning of my journey to freedom, put it that way. But my handler, you know, took me there and he said, "You're not living anywhere. You have to make money for me." So it was kind of hard. I spent some time with him until one day I say, "I'd rather die than spend one more day here. I don't care about anything." I mean, we're talking about 8 years later. So, you know, the father of my babies were probably far away. My family, everything changed. The only person who was there stuck on time, and the same thing with me. So I was like, I, I'm, I just, I just want to die. I want my freedom with my dad, or when, if they leave me, but I want to be free. So one day I finally got the courage that I never had because I was ready to die that day. And I made a prayer and I told God, just please soften his heart. Just let me, just then, I don't know, make something so he can finally let me go. So after I finished that prayer, uh, I went there. Well, happened a few hours later, but um, took a deep breath and I called him, my handler, and told him we need to talk. And he said he was very aggressive. This man was so aggressive. He beat me up so many times. This man broke all my ribs, dislocated my jaw. He broke my nose. I cannot count the amount of times he hit me. A lot of times. He was very aggressive. I couldn't even breathe uh, in front of him because he was like, "Why you bring it that way?" And then he used to hit me. So I was so scared that I couldn't even breathe in front of him. I could have to stay still, right? I was so scared that because he was like a crazy person.
Do you think you could ever trust lawyers again after that experience?
Yes, yes, because I know it's like cops. I saw cops laughing with my traffickers. And it doesn't mean that all cops are bad, you know. It doesn't mean that all lawyers are bad. This year has been a bit weird for me because I have to do, now that I am free, I'm, you know, putting my business again, everything, working on the same thing that I have to do, and everything that I did 10 years ago. I'm doing again because part of the job I have to deal with lawyers. So I can it's not gonna say I'm not gonna talk with any lawyer again. Um are lawyers that I know now and they're actually helping my case. I need lawyers too, right? To because they saw my case and everything. They're helping me out right now in a lawsuit. There's it's for another team, but yeah. So I cannot say that all lawyers are bad. I trust lawyers, but I do not trust. I'm not that naive, put it that way, right? So that's what happened to me. Like I trust people and I understand not everybody's like that, but I stopped being so naive.
What is something people don't realize when it comes to human trafficking?
Well, there's a lot of misinformation out there, human trafficking. People, and I believe that Hollywood is part killed in this, because they always put human trafficking like someone's gonna kidnap you and they're gonna take you in another country. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen because it does happen, but people need to understand that human trafficking happens everywhere, and and they have many ways to do it. uh, they have this grooming thing that they will like what they did to me, and they kidnap people too. They do whatever they have to do because it's a business, and it's a business that is so successful because it lives out of the ignorance of people. Why they have this happened to me because I did not know. I didn't know about what human trafficking was. I if I mean, and I'm honestly saying, if I knew what I know today, I probably would have seen the signs that I was blind and ignorant. And so I believe that people should get knowledge about this because I saw a lot of people getting trafficked while I was there, and I saw men, I saw kids, so women, so everybody can be a victim.
How did you escape your handler?
Well, yeah. After I made the prank and everything, I told him we need to talk, and he was very aggressive. So I say, look, everybody's dead, just you and me here. Um, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Like, you can't even go because you're here, uh, checking on me all day. You don't have. I mean, the money you use, you have me. What? Like, what are you doing with your life? I told him, just let me go, please, or kill me. Do whatever you want to do today. It's fine. If you want to kill me, then kill me right now. But I'm gonna free today. I'm gonna be free today. With my own dad, or because I'm gonna get out of here. And I don't know what happened. Like I don't know still this day. I don't know what happened. But he looked down, stands a minute in silence, and then he looked at me. He smiled at me, and he said, "Okay, fine, you can go." And I thought he was joking. I thought he was gonna kill me. But so I did not move. And I told him what, and he said, "You can go. That is the door. You can go." So I went. He was next to the door. So I passed him just by. I mean, just he was next to the door, and I remember, walking right through the door, and he did not move a finger to stop me. Nothing. I opened the door, and I gave my first step as a free woman. That's when I finally moved. Of course, I took all my mom knew I was in that situation. She didn't know the whole thing, but after I got my friend, the first thing that I did was take everybody who I love, who was in charge of me, and I moved to another city. And of course, and then I contact police after I got my freedom.
When did you move to America?
I haven't moved to America yet. I am moving in different places right now. It's part of my job that I'm doing right now.
How has life been ever since your escape? Now that this whole journey, now that this whole terrible thing is behind you, how has life been?
Well, I have to be honest. At first, I was so happy. Like I was extremely happy. Like I couldn't explain how happy I was. But after something happened in the family, a loss. We had a loss of someone, and after that, they um I don't know, something happened to me. I snapped or something, or something triggered me, and I start having flashbacks and all that. It's like all things that happened to me came back to life. So that's when I try to find a little help too, on that. So, but that was like almost a year ago. It hasn't been easy because they took everything. I mean everything. So I just went out with on the only thing I was wearing on, and that's it. No money, nothing. But in these years that I've been free, like I finally got my free in August in 2021. I've been trying. I mean, and now I got my business, and I'm doing better in every way. My health is better because I used to have a really poor health. Like I was very sick, so much abuse and everything. So now I'm complete recovered, I believe, and I'm better than ever in my mental and emotional, health. I'm good now.
You still read the Bible today?
Every day, yeah.
Could you tell me and the viewers one of your favorite either books in the Bible or one of your favorite verses?
Well, yeah, I love Psalms. Like it's my favorite book, because there's a lot of it was written by a lot of people, right? Not only one. And you can see that sometimes they were happy, sometimes they were sad. So my favorite chapter will be chapter 7, 7:3. That's because that is the chapter and verse that changed my life. I used to read it every day because I felt like that, because it talks about um when you see evil people um being successful. As you see, a lot of evil people never pay what they do, right? Like a lot of people have asked that question: why good people suffer and why bad people always, they have a good life and everything. I used to ask myself that question, but that Psalms that chapter, it talks about that it is an illusion and that they're not going to stay here forever. It's just they're fine until they fall. And that's what happened to me. My traffickers did all crimes that you can do to a person, but they're gone. They were gone in a second. So no one is too powerful to be stopped. And even if evil people and bad people look that they are so powerful, they will one day, their time will come and they will pay for what they do.
Amen. What advice would you give to others that are currently in the same situation that you used to be in?
Well, if they are being trafficked, you mean right now?
Yeah. If others are listening right now and they're in the same situation that you used to be in.
Well, it's funny because I remember one day, after a meeting, I ran out and took my phone and I Googled how to escape of human trafficking. You have to escape of everything. I found nothing on Google. I just, generic questions and answers and all that, but calling 911 and all that. So when I say one day someone asked me this question, this is what I will say. Uh, you, if you're there, first you have to know that you don't believe traffickers. They will play with your mind. They are experts doing that. So try traffickers tend to make mistakes, and they will sometimes they will leave you a bit of freedom sometimes. And I, most people do not ask for help because they're too afraid. And I believe that the first thing to survive and the first thing that you have to do is to control your emotions while you're there. If you control your emotions, and I mean, if you control your fear, you control your sadness, whatever that you feel in that moment. If you have to be an expert, really control your emotions, because in that way you will think better. And do not do what I did. That I was not asking for any help. Like, do not do that, because I have to say that I'm alive because of a miracle. I shouldn't be here. I had so many chances, like, to die, like a lot of times that I didn't know how I'm here. So I say try to ask help one way or another. I'm not saying that you go there and do a sign or something, because that could be risky. But you can try and try to think, because every situation is different, in a way that you can um, put your situation, move yourself or your trafficker somehow way, somehow or another, in a place that is with more people. If you like, I'm gonna give you an example. I was in the middle of nowhere, and after I learned that I had to control my emotions, even after they did every day they did to me, right? After all the abuses that I've received every day, I had to control my emotions. So I thought, like, I need to find a way to move these people, to convince these people to move to a place that was not in the middle of nowhere, maybe in a city. And that actually helped me to they agree with that. Of course, I was trying to, it was a whole process, right? And every, like I said, every situation is different. But that helped me to reduce the abuses that I was having every day. So, my advice, please control your emotions. I know it's hard, but control your emotions and make a plan uh, um, to go to a more, where people are. Like, try to find a way to go where people go, and do not fight with them. Do not go against them. Like, unfortunately, have to understand them. I know it's hard to understand a trafficker, but if you have to survive in that way, you have to survive. You have to kind of like understand why they do what they do, how they think, you know, so you can escape. Now, escaping human trafficking is extremely difficult, and I could be saying this, and every situation is different. But my number one advice is control your emotions while you're there, because that's gonna help you. That's gonna save your life. If you control your emotions, you can. There's a higher chance to escape.
Thank you so much for joining this podcast with me, Jade. This is very insightful, and it was great having you on this episode with me.
Thank you.
I hope all the viewers out there get to hear that powerful story, and I hope it can help a few people out there. God bless you all, and I hope you all have a great day.